Hey team, welcome to another edition of 10 Minutes with Tangelo. This series is dedicated to bringing simplicity and clarity to complex issues. Today we're going to talk about everything foam roll, specifically what not to foam roll, why, what, how. Before we get into it, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. It's going to make us so happy. It'll make our day, and we'll get into some action here. Okay. Glasses on, whiteboard out. This must be important. Before we get into anything, let's talk about what foam rolling does, what we think it does, okay? This is the research, this is how we use it in the clinic, this is what patients report back to us. So what it does do, okay? We have a stimulus, we have a pressure. It can reduce tissue tone, it can reduce tissue tenderness. This is a good thing, all right? When we have balanced tissue tone, we have less tender tissues, all of a sudden we have less pain, we have increased range of motion, and that can make us feel like we can perform better. That can actually help us move better. These are good things. This is why you should use a foam roller. We'll talk about when, where, and how in a second here, okay? We also know that when we start feeling better and we use it post workout, it actually pushes fluid around, we think. It reduces that tissue tenderness. We have less soreness. We recover well. The studies start to report that we get more out of our next workout, or the client feels like they're getting more out of their next workout when they foam roll after their exercise. That's a good thing. It's an awesome tool for prep and recovery. Here's what we know it doesn't do, and this is what we're going to talk about in a little bit with the IT band. We know it doesn't break up adhesions. We know it doesn't release fascia. This is a good thing. This should be good news. This just gets the tissues to calm down. We don't have to break anything up. You don't got anything weird going on in your body, but that's also why it can kind of hurt in certain areas, and we can provide other alternatives to reducing tissue tenderness in the IT band and lateral knee pain and hip pain without putting the foam roll pressure right on it. So, area number one to stop foam rolling, your IT band. Now, before I get into it, if you love foam rolling your IT band, if it makes you feel better, it's the only thing that helps, keep doing it. Click off, hit subscribe, and then be done with this video. But nobody's ever been upset when I tell them stop foam rolling your IT band. Okay, so let's talk about why. We just said, what does foam rolling do? What do we use it on? We use it on muscles to increase tissue, to reduce tissue tension, reduce tissue soreness. And we said when we're putting that stress into a big healthy muscle like your quad, your hip flexor, your butt, your hamstring, those tissues will respond accordingly. Now, we know the IT band is not that type of tissue. It's much more fibrous, it's much more dense. It actually can take a lot of force and load, and it actually would require a ton of force and load to, one, strengthen it and to release it. It hurts. Don't do that. Don't foam roll your IT band. I would never ask somebody to do something that I'm not willing to do. So then what the heck, Smith? You're telling me I can't foam roll my IT band? My hip's still tight, my knee's still sore. What are some areas that I can focus on to get that relief? That's coming up. So we just talked about why not to foam roll your IT band, but there are alternatives to creating less tension into your lateral hip, your lateral quad, and your lateral knee. Again, fibrous, active, it hurts, it's a waste of time, it's a different tissue, but there are other solutions. We said the other solutions can be, let's affect the muscles around that area. So we're gonna focus on foam rolling your TFL, foam rolling your glute, and then foam rolling your quad. We're gonna go quick and easy here. I actually start into my TFL, then I roll into my quad, and I switch over into my glute. So again, front hip pocket, foam roll down, lying onto that TFL, and I'm just going back and forth here. Good. If I find a spot, I'll rotate through it. And while I'm in this position, I'm gonna move that foam roll back and then get right into my quad. That's good. Again, I'm not foam rolling over my IT band. It hurts. And I'll just foam roll my quad. 20-30 seconds of that. Let's get that glute. So left glute, left knee crosses over, and I'm foam rolling right into that back hip pocket. 20-30 seconds before, 45-60 seconds, 2 minutes after. It's gonna help you recover, it's gonna help you prep, and all those things are a lot more efficient than getting onto that big, nasty IT band. Show it some love, but don't be mean to it. Area number 2, not to foam roll. Low backs, cut it out. You don't need it. There's better things you can do. I know your back's tight. We've been sitting, we've been working. We haven't been able to get outside. We haven't been able to lift the way we like to. My back's sore. Conventional wisdom says, let me foam roll it. I'm saying that's not the case. Cut it out, okay? Here's why. I'll be right back. Here's your spine, all right? Here's your neck, your thoracic spine, your lumbar spine, okay? So in our mid-back, you can actually see how, let me show you, that these joints, the way they stack on top of each other, they kind of self-regulate. So if I push that way, this joint actually prevents this one below it from going further. Okay, that's good. It kind of stacks on top of each other here. That's a good thing. Foam roll your mid-back all day long. That feels good. You get a lot of motion here. That popping, clacking, that's an okay thing. You get a little bit of movement in there, feels really nice. That's what an adjustment is. Just getting movement and removing some restrictions into that area. That's what we want. Now let's go into this lumbar spine area here. If I zoom in a little bit, you can actually see things change. Those joints are no longer in front of each other. They kind of move into this direction. So if I push this way, if I push that way, now all of a sudden you can create a shear force this way and that way that puts a lot of unnecessary stress into those joints. We just don't need it. It can create some inflammation, okay? We want our spine to be able to move really well. It's a healthy spine if it can move really well. We just don't want it driving all our movements. We want the drivers to be into our hips, into our mid-back. When we're mobile here and we're mobile here, the guy right in the middle can be nice and balanced, nice and controlled, and when we're balanced and controlled, tension goes down. Awesome stuff. Quit foam rolling your low back. So I just said, don't foam roll your low back. What the heck, Smith? I have low back tension. Another video is gonna be like, why are we tense? Why are we tight? If your back is tight because you have tense muscles, rather than lying on a foam roll and creating that tension and that stress and that shear in your low back, the alternative is taking a lacrosse ball, leaning against the wall so I can control the pressure. I'm putting that right on my big QL, my big paraspinal muscle. I'm gonna lean into it and I'm just gonna massage nice and easy. I'm controlling the stress, I'm controlling the pressure. I'm not getting too much shear into my low back. And it actually feels really good. I'll be here for about 30 to 45 seconds, then I'll switch sides. The only thing, don't put it right onto your spine. It just hurts. Go where the muscles feel good. Nice and easy. I'll see you in a second. Rapid fire question. People ask, when is the best time to foam roll and for how long? Here are my recommendations. This is again based off some research, some experience with clients, and like what I like to do. What we know is that we want tissue prep and tissue recovery, right? So when we're talking tissue prep, tissue recovery, I recommend a little bit before workout and a little bit after workout. Before workout, I want quick and easy. I just want blood flow to the area. I've been sitting all day. I'm just getting out of bed. I want to prep these tissues for some movement. So a little bit of input, I'm talking 30, 45, 60 seconds of just a little bit of tissue work makes all the difference in the world, okay? After a workout, a little bit longer. We're talking 60 seconds to 2 minutes, all right? 1 to 2 minutes after a workout. It doesn't even have to be right after a workout. They're figuring out within that evening, within that afternoon, if you get on the foam roll, spend a little bit more time, go a little bit slower, what we're reporting is less tissue soreness, less higher capacity to take load, and then more out of your next workout when you get a little bit of tissue prep before, a little bit of tissue prep after. That's when the foam roller is very powerful in what it can do for your recovery toolbox. Thank you for following me and listening to me for the past 10-ish minutes. I hope you have a little bit better understanding about foam rolling, how you can utilize it better, how it's a great tool for your movement, exercise, recovery toolbox. Please hit the subscribe button. Follow me for more information at Hey Dr. Mike on Instagram. Let us know if you have questions, comments, concerns below. I look forward to seeing you next time.